So I would urge our Republican colleagues to pass COVID relief ASAP. It's very risky for the health of the American people for them to be playing political games with.
What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and breaking news just coming out. I'm going to be sharing with you the video footage of Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer with a press release as he is discussing the way forward in Congress to get more stimulus. And as you heard, he is urging them to get this done ASAP, saying that the help is needed. They're going to be discussing Build Back Better, stimulus provisions, additional pandemic assistance, all of these things. Also, they're saying an anti-inflation package is currently being worked on as well. And we had heard of gas stimulus checks, anti-inflation checks. A lot of states are doing this on a state level, but now they're requesting this on a federal level as well. And this is your stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and breaking news update. Now, I'm going to be just sharing with you the video footage of Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and questions and answers afterwards. We're going to be hearing what they have to say that's going on right now. And he's saying this is going to be a very productive 5-week work time for them. They're going to try to get stuff done. And we're hearing this is likely going to be the last and final major push before we have those midterm elections, and they are going to be fighting to get things done so that way they can stay in power. That is Democrats, which are in full control of Congress right now. So I'm going to dive right in, just let you see the breaking news video footage for yourself so that way you can know what's happening. As you guys know here in the channel, I just give you the information, I cite all the sources, I show it to you on the screen so you know it's the latest. And this is as of today, April 26, 2022. So you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in. But before we do, as always, if you appreciate the content, don't forget, take a quick second, smash that like button for me. Helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Helps out a ton if you appreciate the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments. Love to hear your thoughts on all this. I know a lot of people in the last video were saying it's great that they're starting to get stuff done now, but we have been waiting a year to see something done. So hopefully they can get it done this time. Also, if you want to stay up to date, totally free to do so. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, totally free. Come join the Ram fam. I'll let you know everything going on. And if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. All you got to do is hop onto Instagram and shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. Best way by far to get a hold of me. And keep an eye out on my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. More content coming on that channel as well. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right into the video footage, get you caught up on the latest as we're hearing Congress is pushing right now for more stimulus provisions, gas stimulus checks, child tax credits, getting rid of student loans, more pandemic funding, an assortment of different things that could be on the way here very soon. Let's go ahead and dive right in.
Hey, I'm pleased to be joined by Senator Cantwell. We expect Senator Stabenow to be here any minute. We had a very good discussion at our lunch today, and we're at the starting line of a 5-week work period. Democrats are focused on making it as productive as the last work period, which was extremely productive. We'll continue working on legislation to lower costs and improve Americans' daily lives. That's one of our primary focuses. We're pushing legislation to lower the cost of putting food on the table, fight price gouging at the pump, keep the cost of insulin affordable, relieve supply chain crisis, and increase competition through antitrust enforcement. In all those ways, just take the Just take the example of the oil companies. They made record profits this year, more than they ever have. I think it's over $200 billion for the top companies, and yet they did record stock buybacks. Here, price of oil is going way up, and what are they doing? Even from their own point of view, they're not improving their own production, let alone help their employees or reduce prices. Instead, it's to feather the nests of CEOs and rich shareholders. It's outrageous. And one of the reasons we want to get Bedoya on the FTC is to look into it, but as you'll hear from Senator Cantwell, we're exploring legislative approaches as well. These are all areas where Congress can now take action to help American families. But to move quickly, of course, the way the Senate works, we need cooperation from our Republican colleagues. Pointing fingers isn't going to help fight inflation. It isn't going to lower the costs for American families. They need to get on board and not let extraneous political issues get in the way of the Senate delivering help for families. We're also going to continue to confirm President Biden's administrative Hey, folks, can't hear. Thank you. We're going to continue confirming President Biden's administrative and judicial nominees. This week, we're teed up to confirm President Biden's nominees to the FTC, the Federal Reserve, Department of Labor, Department of Housing and Urban Development, and District Court. Now, we've had some issues with attendance that just arose in the last few hours, but we're going to continue pushing to get the President's nominees confirmed. These health issues will not deter us from getting these done. Also, during this work period, the Senate's ready to work quickly to approve the President's expected emergency funding request to support the people of Ukraine in their fight against Russian aggression. Once the President makes his request to Congress, approving additional aid for Ukraine will be a priority. I expect both sides to work in the same bipartisan way we did the first time to get a Ukraine supplemental done. So we got a lot to do. Go ahead.
There's been a lot of concern from some of your moderate members and those up for re-election about Title 42 and the administration's decision to overturn that at the end of May. Do you think that decision should be delayed?
Look, the bottom line is, let me say this about Title 42. Number one, no, it shouldn't be used to hold up important things like COVID aid, number one. And number two, we're going to be working through this to see if we can come to a position that our caucus can agree on. There's divisions there now. Yes, next.
Reaction to Elon Musk buying Twitter, and Amy Klobuchar just briefed your caucus on antitrust, big tech antitrust legislation. Are you going to bring that to the floor? Okay,
on the second question, we had a very good discussion. She made very powerful presentation, and I'm working with her to see that we can get 60 votes to get to the floor. On Elon Musk, I would say, look, in many ways, Twitter has been a dark, dark place. I hope it doesn't get any darker. Yes.
The inflation package you talked about, is that going to move through regular order or budget reconciliation? And how does
the inflation? What are you talking about?
There's talk of an inflation package to combat inflation. Does that move through budget reconciliation or regular order?
Look,
how does it fit with the other reconciliation effort?
Look, reconciliation is very, very important. I met, as he came out and told people, I met with Senator Manchin this morning. Our meetings were both preliminary and good, and we're going to continue to keep talking. If you want to get rid of inflation, the only way to do it is to undo a lot of the Trump tax cuts and raise rates. No Republican is ever going to do that. So the only way to get rid of inflation is through reconciliation. Yes.
Earlier this month, a report from the San Francisco Chronicle raised questions about Senator Dianne Feinstein's memory, including 3 Democrats raising concerns about this. Have any of these senators approached you about this?
No.
Are you confident her ability to serve?
They have not. I've had a good number of discussions with Senator Feinstein, but I'm keeping them to myself. Yes. Go ahead. We'll give you both.
Okay, thanks.
Who's his name first alphabetically?
Begins with an H. Ukraine supplemental.
Right in the middle. Yeah.
So are you planning on putting the Ukraine supplemental as a standalone on the floor, or are you going to proceed with pairing it with international?
Look, we think COVID aid, both international and domestic, is very, very important. Let me say this. There's been reports, accurate as best I can tell, that a lot of some of the therapeutics, which are such an important part of the COVID relief, were developed, most of them were developed in America by American companies. But since Congress, blocked by Republicans, hasn't acted, these companies are very tempted to sign contracts with other countries. God forbid we have another variant that's fairly virulent. We need these therapeutics, but they're all going to other countries, even though they were made here, created here, and manufactured. So I would urge our Republican colleagues to pass COVID relief ASAP. It's very risky for the health of the American people for them to be playing political games with it.
So there you have it, you guys. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer today on progress being made in Congress to get more things done. And you heard him say, we got to get it done ASAP. He said he's urging his Republican colleagues to get on board with passing more stimulus provisions. Now, I will keep you up to date here on the channel. You also heard them mention about inflation packages, more stimulus to help out combat inflation at this time. Now, we will see. I will keep you up to date. We also asked if it was going to be passed through the process of reconciliation, and we heard that we will just have to see what's going to be unfolding, if Democrats are going to be able to unify to get this done. And I will keep you up to date here on the channel. A lot being proposed, a lot happening. They're hitting the ground running. They've got 5 weeks, and as I mentioned, This is pretty much the final push for Democrats to see whether or not they're going to be able to pull this off to help persuade voters to stay in power, or if nothing's going to come to fruition and it looks like a red wave will be coming in November and Republicans will take control of Congress with the Democratic president. We will see you guys. I will keep you up to date on everything here on the channel and let you know the latest. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you'd like to stay up to date, totally free to do so. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, come join the Ram fam. Any specific questions, shoot them to me on Instagram at SteveRam3 and consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, you guys, thanks once again for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.